heartache lives on
Not the heartache.
inside.
Oh my gosh.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back to the shade of it all. I'm
Welcome
Brandon.
back. I'm Magdala.
And I mean, this is bittersweet because it is the finale of Love Island season 6 that we're going to be
hmm
talking about today. But as they mentioned at the end of it, there's going to be a reunion.
And I don't think they've done that before.
I don't think so either. I think I saw something Bergie, he did some podcast. He mentioned I think season 4 may have had one, but that it wasn't that good.
I love
So
how
I'm like,
Bergie is like the expert that everybody like we've mentioned him a lot of like Bergie has been giving us a lot of good info.
right.
I'm gonna look and see if last season they had one, but I remember when Kane was on his Instagram, everybody's like, "Are you gonna go to the reunion?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." No, last season it's just the remaining four couples have final dates. That was the last episode. Let's go to season 4.
This season's
Same.
special, y'all,
It is. No. Oh no, they had a reunion for season
for
4.
season 4. Okay.
24 Islanders reunite and spill the tea. Oh, so season 4 they brought everybody back.
All right. So they might, I could see them bringing everyone back this time
That'd be
around.
cool.
There's a lot of key players. I'm interested to see Andrea at the reunion and what she has to say because I don't think her and Rob have reunited.
Oh yeah, we'll see. We will
We know
see.
that thirst bucket, sorry, that blonde girl, Sydney Sweeney, she's gonna
Oh,
be, did you see what she's doing now? She's
no.
like on TikTok and like being like, because,
Natural.
okay, Aaron posted on his story, like, oh, I'm gonna
Mhm.
be answering questions. But in the background, you hear Kaylor on the phone with her friend, and the friend was
Yeah.
apparently saying something about Leah.
She said, fuck, I know what it is. Hold on. I took screenshots because I was like, I gotta bring this up today.
Wasn't it like
She
something like,
said,
oh, no one's gonna care about her in 6 months or something like
no
that?
one's gonna give a fuck about Leah in 6 months. And then Kaylor was just like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I mean, of course, Aaron would not be paying attention and just be on
Aaron
his
is
story.
Kaylor's biggest op, and she needs to realize that.
Literally. I mean, it's so unfair. It's so unfair. It's like, damn, and we don't even know the context. We just hear
Right.
literally the worst part. So I'm like, I hope like Leah's not getting upset and ask some questions first. But damn, it would be tragic if some of these friendships crumble after all this, between now and the reunion.
No, I know. And like that's the thing, the girl, Sydney from Casa, I guess people thought it was her on the phone. And so
Why?
she was like, it's not me, you guys. Like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then
That
she
is
like
crazy.
DM'd Kaylor and was just like, I know you don't care about anyone else but yourself, but can you like just like clear the air? Like, I don't know you enough to take this flack. And I'm like,
Why did
Sydney.
she approach Kaylor like that
I
though?
swear she said
I
something
know
like
you
that at
only
the end
care
of it.
about
It was like something crazy that was like
that's
low-key kind of rude.
that's
And
aggressive for what?
I'm like, look, okay,
That
I'm
doesn't make
sure this
sense.
girl got like a message or two and was like, was that you on the phone? Like, and she's like, oh my God, everyone's saying it's me and it's not me. Like, I swear, you guys, like, I literally just got out from a night out and people are
Uh,
thinking it's me and it's like not. And I'm
Why
like,
could I see her doing that though? Two comments. Guys, everyone is saying it's giving Sheena.
it
Everyone is trolling
is.
me. She's like, what do you mean? Are you searching yourself? She's like, everybody's mentioning me. So you're searching for yourself?
That part, I'm like, and you know what, listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear she said something low-key rude to Kaylor, and I swear I remembered it was something like, "Oh, you're not thinking of anyone else." Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but
Look, the problem is that Sydney didn't get a lot of screen time, and if it was probably it was mostly like what we saw on camera was very brief, and maybe we heard a couple things in passing, but like, yo, they say so much in passing. Like today, I'm watching the finale because I was really busy yesterday, and Sunday. So today I was watching the finale and like I feel like there's things I missed because it's like you need your captions on, you need to be paying attention. These Islanders say so. I wouldn't be surprised if she said something and we missed it, but I don't remember that.
I
I don't
don't,
remember that at all.
yeah, I don't either. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's just that should be an interesting point of the reunion. I feel like Sydney's gonna try to come in hot and like maybe be like, I
I doubt
know.
it, Brandon. Off of that, I doubt it.
I mean, maybe that,
I
but
think she has
also,
some common sense. They're not going to give her that much time. If
I
she
mean,
does, they're not going to
hopefully
air it.
not. But remember when she tried to say, oh, Kenny's a player, and it was between me and Catherine and all this.
Mm.
She's gonna have like these wild takes, and everyone's gonna be like, girl, we
You were
don't know
barely on
you.
the show. We don't know you. It'll be
Yes,
interesting. It'll be cool to see Hannah come back.
it
I
will
saw some
be.
about her on online and I was like, wow, it would be interesting to see Hakeem come back and see if he takes some responsibilities. Same with the other guy, Nigel,
That
but
would
mostly
be
Hakeem.
interesting, to see
Yeah.
Hakeem. Interesting is a word. Did you
Yeah.
see Hannah was is dating that guy or with Josiah? I think that's his name. Or who was the guy? Fuck, what's his
The
name?
Casa bombshell?
The Casa bombshell. Wasn't it Josiah?
There was a bombshell named Josiah. Yeah. She's with
Okay,
him?
I they were like in some video where she was like, um, they were like, it's one of those like on the street videos where it's like someone's just interviewing and it was like her and him. And they were like, "Oh, would your guy approve of you being dressed like this, like outside?" I think it was like a random question they were like asking or something stupid. I don't know.
Oh, I see it. Hannah and Josiah Love Island together. I see it. The one, so she's dating the guy who was she's dating the cheater.
Yes, the one that dated two guys. Or two guys, two girls. Yes, my bad. Yes, the one who was just like, I was dating
I
two
was about to
people at the
say,
same
Brandon,
time.
what?
Not me spilling more tea. No, the one who was like, I was dating two people at the same time, and they were like, but did they know? Janae's like,
Oh
what do you
yeah.
mean by that? Um, I actually found uh
I see it,
Sydney's
yeah.
DM because of course Sydney posted her DM to Kaylor. So let me read this verbatim just to clear
This is
that.
crazy.
Kaylor, period. We don't know each other, but you need to clear the air on who you were talking to on the phone. People think it's me and I'm getting extreme hate. I don't know you enough to take your heat. It's not nice at all. Own up to your mistakes and actions, girl. Okay, so she didn't say you don't care about anyone else. I may have made that up.
But
Or
what
maybe
is she talking
that's
about?
maybe she commented it or someone else commented that. So I got that mixed up. So I will clearing the air. She didn't say that in the DM, but it was still kind of like a little like a little
Aggressive.
aggressive that I was like,
I would
damn.
have been like, hey, I mean, she's like, I mean, yeah, she's never met Kaylor. Okay, so that part makes sense. But I've just been like, hey, Kaylor, it's me. You know, I was on the same season as you. Like, hey, some people are talking. Do you have a minute to chat?
Right.
Like, have a
People think it's
conversation.
me.
That sounded really aggressive. And she's like, own up to your mistakes. Kaylor literally didn't really do anything because I
She
know
didn't
it wasn't
purposely
Kaylor
put
who
that
said it.
out. Like,
Right. I
come
know it
on.
wasn't Kaylor who said it. It was whoever she was on the phone with said it. But people are upset that they said it. Like, no one's going to care about Leah in 6 months. We don't know what we're talking about. And I think Kaylor was just like, yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we didn't really even hear Kaylor's whole response. So, like, own up to your mistakes, all that. It just sounds really aggressive. Sydney,
It is. And I'm just
what's wrong with
like,
her?
look, Kaylor has her flaws, but I'm like, Sydney, stop. Kaylor
Yeah.
will be on the Vile Files this week. And
Hopefully alone.
I think it will be alone because they didn't mention Aaron would be there. Serena
Can
and
we
Cordell
just,
were just on and I watched that. We can go over that in our
they
next
were?
episode. Yeah, they just did a little Zoom interview. It was really
Oh,
cute.
that's awesome. No, I'm happy to talk about it now if it like maybe so I was thinking that maybe we could talk about stuff we've heard about the people who are gone. And then we'll go through
Hmm.
the episode and then we could also talk about anything we've heard about people in that were in the finale. Do you want to do that?
Okay, yeah, we can
If
do
there's
that. And then next episode, I feel like there's going to be even more. People are
Yeah,
just
I'm
getting
sure.
started with the interviews. And
No, it's
we're
really
gonna,
bad.
because what is it? Rob's gonna be on Call Her Daddy.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know
Well,
why.
I'm glad that you had time to listen to podcasts because I really only had time to just go on social media and see what people were saying. But
Hmm.
I mean, the tea is still spilt. So, in terms of really just for Kayla and Aaron is who I was kind of like looking up. Um, and it's kind of interesting. A lot of people are concerned because on After Sun, Aaron is like, I'm gonna go to the US. Yeah, I'm not going home. I didn't tell my parents. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the US with Kayla. And they're like, oh, and so he's like, yeah, we'll watch it together, whatever, whatever. And he actually did. Like I saw that he's in LA with her, which is interesting because I didn't know she lived. I don't think they either of them went home then, but they just
No,
both
I
went
think
to
they've been in like
LA.
a hotel or something.
Yeah, so they're both in LA together, having fun, whatever. Aaron has been answering questions on his story and stuff. And the comment thing is concerning, right? The whole phone conversation. But then people are also just saying, like, is he trying to like control the narrative, kind of control her by not giving her space? Like, doesn't she need like people are concerned that like because they are still together, she's not gonna have a moment to like decompress, talk to people, and have her own narrative because I mean, even as we saw on the show, when she speaks to Aaron, even when she has insecurities, he doesn't really acknowledge them, but she kind of like will just go with whatever he's saying and doesn't like listen to her gut at all. So people are just like, yo, Kayla, you should be alone right now. Like, this is a little too much space, you know? And not to say, like, I don't think that Aaron is necessarily being malicious by spending more time with her. I think they're both on a high. Like, we were just on a show, we were together every day. So let's be
Yeah.
together, you know? It's like that after trip high. You know, you go on a trip with friends, and afterwards, it's like your parents are like, come home. And you're like, no, you know, it's like you still want to hang out, you know? And so I
Yeah.
think it's the same thing for them. I don't think he's being malicious. I think people are just concerned that she's not getting any alone time, as am I, because I feel like, you know, there's a lot happening. Like you probably need to decompress, but that's not to say that they won't. Like maybe in a week she'll go home. Maybe in a week he'll go home, you know?
Yeah, I agree. They're definitely on the high of it all. And like, I mean, that is Aaron's kind of MO, where it's like he doesn't really give her space and he wants to be
Yeah.
like, oh no, like I love you, like here's my seashell, and like I just want to be around you
Yeah.
and like duh.
I think they both
So
are like that, but him coming to the US immediately kind of shows it's like, oh, that's a big step. You
well,
changed your flight and
yeah, and she even said on the show, she's like, whenever a girl says she wants space, she doesn't really want space. Like she said that, and I'm
oh
like,
my
well,
gosh. Well, they
now,
both kind of have toxic tendencies.
yeah, and I'm like, look, all the comments, and I think I mentioned this last episode, all the comments on her TikTok are like, leave Aaron. Like, you
Leave
need to
him. He
watch
told
Casa.
Daniela he loved her. I saw that a couple of times.
People on interviews are mentioning because JaNa and Kenny and Serena and Cordell have been doing a lot, and they always mention they're like, oh, so what do y'all think about Kayla and Aaron? Because everyone really wants her to leave him and da 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 da. And
Mm,
I think Serena Cordell on Vile Files were just like, Serena was like, we're different and I support
yeah.
women's rights and women's wrongs. But she
Hmm.
said something like, if it was me and I had to deal with Aaron in like the villa and how he was acting after Casa, someone would have had to leave the show, basically. And I'm like, you know what? I
Yeah.
feel that.
Oh,
And then
Sarita don't play that.
she doesn't. And Janae, I've noticed, is being a little more defensive of Erin. She always says she didn't watch Casa. So she knows there's probably a lot she
So, girl,
hasn't seen. But
you
she's
can't
like,
say anything if you haven't watched
I know, but
it.
she's like, Aaron was always sweet and would always make everyone breakfast, like even before. And I think he wanted to test the relationship in Casa, but he just went about it the wrong way. And I'm like, fair
You don't
enough to that, but
understand.
it's
It's
mostly
not about Casa.
afterwards is the
Mm-hmm.
thing that people are like,
Mm-hmm.
because Casa, if you had been honest and really like apologetic, again, you
Yeah.
could have moved past it, but you
Right.
just weren't. So that's why y'all didn't make the
Mm-hmm.
finale, even though y'all kind of
Thought
had
you
the
did.
game in the bag for a
Yeah.
while because y'all were the longest couple. It was solid. And then it
Mm-hmm.
just I'm going down.
No, it's true. I think like okay, yeah, Janae, I love you, but you don't know the whole you didn't see the gaslighting, you didn't see the defensiveness, you didn't see the Tom Sandoval of it all.
No,
Right? Like we should just call a man being defensive and taking no responsibility a Tom Sandoval because that's what happened. Like
you're a
you
Tom
didn't see those
Sandoval.
parts. Tom
Hmm.
Sandoval. You know, like I don't I love her. I mean, I get what she's saying. If
Yeah,
you're only focusing on Casa, sure. But girl, you were at movie night.
she saw some of it at
So
least. Um,
like you saw him just not take any responsibility. He's so defensive and it's like that's not okay. We saw
yeah,
two other guys, Kenny. I didn't even realize until I watched the reunion, or I mean the finale, that Kenny also didn't pick Janae, but he made up for it. Like we need to
he
see
did.
actions that speak louder than words of just I'm sorry, you know?
Hmm. Even Miguel, when
Um,
he brought a girl back, he made it up to Leah, you
yeah,
know? And
yeah.
it's interesting that in this finale, the one couples that no one brought anyone back got fourth place. But
No, Kenny brought someone back.
no, Kendall didn't.
Oh, the one that didn't
Yeah,
bring. Oh, I
yeah,
understand. The fourth place couple.
yeah.
Yeah, because Kendall is. I actually want to. I don't know if people, if it's that people didn't like Kendall and Nicole, or if it was that we just liked Serena or the other couples more, you know?
I think it was a combination of both.
And yeah, Kendall really showed his ass in Casa.
He
And it's
did.
like, and I think that it was hard for us to watch him do that because we didn't really see him. Like everybody's like, "Oh, Kendall is dad and mom and Nicole is mom," and I'm like, "But we didn't see that part. We didn't see
Yeah.
your friendship. All we saw was you dragging the girls we love and
Yeah.
defending their men while they're
PPG.
being dirty." Right.
Don't come
We
for
didn't
PPG.
see Right. We saw him say sorry, but we don't know their friendship. And so for viewers, it's hard for us to see that. And then, nothing really makes up for it. I think people are still pretty pissed at Kendall for how he's behaved.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other stories are kind of just better, if I'm being honest.
They are. Kendall and Nicole, it's very vanilla. And vanilla may win
Mm-hmm.
you Love is Blind, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna win you Love Island.
Not Love
Um,
Island.
I will say Janae did say in a couple interviews, but it was funny because in the Chicks in the Office one, they were like, it was nice seeing your friendship with Rob. And she was like, friendship with Rob? I couldn't fucking stand him.
I didn't see her friendship with Rob.
There was literally, this is the thing about Twitter in particular, they really will like see little moments and have like
I
conspiracies. They hugged once in like the
was
hallway and they were like,
supposed to say,
secretly, Rob loves her. Like, look at his face when she jokes about marrying Kenny. He looks heartbroken. Like, they got a secret
what?
thing going on. And it's
Oh
like,
my
I didn't think that.
gosh.
Now, I didn't think she couldn't stand him. That part
I didn't
was
know that.
funny, and I
That's
love that.
hilarious. So
But I,
she so she just she said she couldn't stand him
oh
and
yeah,
and that's
she's like they barely talked, and she just couldn't get like a read on him. But she did support because she wanted to see Leah happy, so she would like
yeah.
push them together. But
Yeah.
overall, it's
I
just
feel
like no.
That's funny. I feel like that question is better for Serena because she was boohoo crying when Rob left. And I
I
was like,
agree.
that's a better question for her. It's so funny, but you're right. People online use like I stood next to you twice, but they made a compilation video, slowed it down, put a
Yeah.
filter over it, put some Taylor Swift music behind it, and
And it's
now
like,
it looks like
we're
we
not
have
talking
this.
about the real couple. And it's like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Uh, the internet's a funny place.
It is, it
But
is.
um yeah, I'm trying to think what else was said. Well, Cordell
There's a
just
lot
said
that's been.
he's officially moving to California.
Oh my gosh. So is that where Serena is? I thought she was in Houston.
I think she's from Houston, but she lives in
Oh.
California. And Leah lives in
Oh, that's awesome.
California.
Oh, that's
And then
good.
Janae's in Vegas.
Oh,
Kenny's in
Janae's in Vegas.
Dallas, but she said he's going back to Dallas for 10 days to kind of like catch up on work and like recuperate. But then they're getting together
Hmm.
after to like go to Vegas. She's gonna go to like a rodeo. They have a bunch
Oh.
planned. So
I love it. Look, to be single and have some brand deals and I mean, everybody's a social influencer, so they got the coin to just be like, hey, I'm gonna move and like do this for a little bit and like just go
Mm-hmm.
off the high. I would quit my job and just enjoy the
That
day to
part,
day.
because what is it? Like this season's like the biggest USA season. Like Leah's at
Yeah,
1.6 million. The
it's
others are just
crazy.
climbing. Like I think I saw Serena was at like 700 something thousand, which is still like a lot. And like
A lot.
they're just like going up and up. And like
Hmm.
they should do something. They got to work
They
with
should.
something.
No, they gotta do something. But I love this. That's so fun to just be carefree and just like move and do all this stuff. It's awesome.
I know,
I'm happy
right?
for all of
And
them.
I mean, if one of the things y'all want to do is come on our pod and be interviewed by us,
Please.
we will have a time. Like,
Absolutely.
we got questions.
We got a lot of
You
questions.
know, we want to kiki. Like, we love
We want to
y'all.
kiki. We just want to support you. We'll
Yes.
give you gifts.
Because, you know, we're slowly becoming just a Love Island podcast. People are like, cover this season, cover, and I'm like, low
Yeah.
key, we might. I'm
Hey, I
down.
like watching the show. It'd be
I know,
fun.
right? I'm like, there's a lot of material to work with. Um, But yeah, that's the main things I've seen from a lot of the interviews so far. There's been nothing too crazy. They talked about how the Andrea moment was like probably the most dramatic moment of the season.
Oh yeah, they did. Oh, I mean,
Hmm.
as I think I would agree. More dramatic than Casa though.
I guess because
Hmm.
I just with Aaron like crying and like Rob's
Uh,
reaction and then like
Listen, I just like leaned back in my chair and folded my arms. I
that
was like,
was Aaron. He's too much.
and that day, I was like, wow, Aaron is so emotional. And now I'm like, Aaron, you need to
What was it? Serena in
keep
one
that
interview,
under
she was like,
wraps.
he says it's not Friendship Island, but he's crying about Rob. So maybe he should have said that to himself. And I'm like,
That part.
period. And
That
then
no, she needs to come for his neck.
Janae was like, I felt uncomfortable for 2 days because they wanted me to be the one to go home. And Rob even told me. So I was just thankful I was there.
Yeah, now that you say that, I thought it was crazy. Sorry, I got a text. It's my birthday, so everybody's blowing up my phone. Let me put my thing on
Maggie
do
just
not
is
disturb.
popular. She's got a podcast. She's got a birthday. She's got so much happening.
It's so funny people be coming out of the woods like, I didn't know I had your phone number. But thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What was I gonna say?
Wait,
Oh,
oh my gosh, it's your
Andrea.
birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah, you did.
birthday, Maggie. Oh my gosh, I didn't. I knew it was the 23rd, but I just didn't know today was the 23rd.
Why did I
LOL.
get scared? I was like, what happened? Yeah, Brendan. I thought you said happy birthday already.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? I love that I get to say it live on the pod. Happy birthday, Maggie.
Thanks, boo.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why I did not know it was the 23rd. I literally got like Maggie's birthday is the 23rd. I thought today was the 22nd. My
It's
bad.
okay, Brendan. This year we've unlocked a new, deeper level of friendship. Now we're gonna have this shit memorized. It's
That's
all
true.
good.
I'm
But
really
thank you,
bad with
friend, for the
memorizing
birthday
birthdays.
wishes.
Oh, yes, of
I was
course.
drinking out of my cup earlier, but it tastes like soap still. So I'm like, let me let this soak for a couple days, or I would have it right now. My
You.
Love Island
I
cup.
know. I was like, I'm in a new space right now because my mom's working from home today where I would usually
Oh,
record.
record. Hmm.
So I have to go in the new space and I don't even have my cup.
Yeah.
We're so for the finale, we're really flopping right now, but that's okay. Because
That's
there's
okay.
more.
That's okay. No, we're doing it. We're doing our thing.
We are.
We're recording. You can see us. You can hear us.
Exactly.
Um. Oh, but okay. Yeah, it wasn't something that Andrea said, but it was somebody put a snip of her saying like Janae hasn't made any connections. Like she should be leaving. This was like when she was upset about like when she was on her way out,
Yeah.
and then
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody stitched it with like JaNa and Kenny or something. And so people were in the comments like, it's funny how Andrea didn't realize it wasn't like between you and JaNa, it was between you and Nicole. But that's old
Right.
business. I don't know why I thought that she said something, but I haven't seen it. But I did see a video of her singing, and I don't know if it was recent or not. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is
A
funny.
tornado flew across my room. I must have made an excuse. I must have made a move and then made.
I'm really petty and I only want to go on the profiles of people I like.
I
So
mean,
I was
hey.
like, I don't want to find her. Well, actually, no. I didn't really care to find what Andre if look like to see if Andrea was saying anything because I did go on Aaron's account to just be like, what is Aaron saying? You know,
Yeah, we gotta do our due
but
diligence.
yeah, but I didn't really feel like going to her profile to see like, oh, is this a recent video? Like, what are you doing? But she does look good.
Oh,
Andrea
she
is fit.
does. Yeah, Andrea's
While she was
cute.
singing, she had her stomach out, and you could see her abs and stuff. And I'm like, go off. Just maybe take pictures instead of
She's
singing.
very pretty.
Maybe
Maybe don't sing.
let's do
Maybe we do
something.
something else that's
No, it's
not that.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like I didn't like her singing voice when I did hear her sing.
Well, Maggie, I mean, why do you hate to say what is there to like? Like,
I
let's
just
just do.
I feel bad a little bit. I'm not I mean, it's just not the
I get
greatest.
it. No, you never want to yuck someone's yum, and like clearly she's passionate about it, and like you never
Yeah.
want to tell someone that they're bad at what they love to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to. Sometimes you need to give
Yeah.
them some realism, you know?
Yeah. Maybe a little more vocal training. I mean, it's not that she can't sing. It's just that how she sings is not the
It's
best.
like when the popular girl at school is like, yeah, I can sing. And then they get up on the talent show and it's just the most mid voice
You know
you've
what?
ever heard.
No, for real. You know what I'll compare it to? And I could get hate, so I'll accept it. Candy Burris. Candy is a great singer, but when she makes a song, she's a great singer and writer. But when she makes a song, it's like it doesn't hit. You know, it's like you can sing, yeah, sing the national anthem, sing,
She has
you
a
know, the
different
Star Spangled
voice.
Banner, you know, yeah, exactly, the Star Spangled Banner.
The
I
Star
said the
Spangled
Star.
Banner.
Sing our national anthem, you know, sing stuff, but like, can you like make songs and produce songs and Candace? The same with Candace from Bravo. What's her last name?
Oh my God. Dillard Bassett.
Candace. Yeah, it's like your
Drive
voice isn't.
back. Contact.
It's like you
Back.
have a nice voice, but should you be making songs? It's like, or you need a new writer, which is crazy for Candy because Candy writes music, but like I don't enjoy her like individual music. I like when other people sing the songs she writes. You know, like Shape of You, amazing. Bills, 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 amazing. Yes, give her a Grammy, you know? And then when
Yeah.
she was on the Masked Singer covering other people's songs, amazing. But like for some reason her songs just don't hit the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree
You
with
can
you.
sing.
Um, I mean, the best vocalist from Bravo is clearly Ashley from Potomac.
Are you serious?
Coffee and love is best when hot,
Boy,
and bitter
bye.
Betty's.
I was about to say it's like
No.
okay. I was about to say the fuck, Brandon.
What
We
is
might
it?
have to
What's her
talk.
name? There's no one that good from
I
Bravo.
actually think the best would be Candy.
Yeah, I would say
She's
too,
a
yeah.
she can sing. She's a good
She
singer,
has a
but it's just
different
like her
voice.
music
It's
doesn't hit.
unique. It's not for everyone, but I
Yeah.
appreciate it. So I'm
Yeah, I
like,
love Candy.
yeah. I'm trying to think because there's a lot of quote unquote singers. I mean, honestly, Ariana's got a great voice and she doesn't
Oh
have original
yeah.
music, but she's on Broadway. She has the wherewithal. She's like, I'll sing Broadway.
Yeah. It's like I feel like everybody who thinks they can sing just makes an album and it's like but I don't
Sometimes that's
know.
just not your journey.
Exactly, you
And that's
know.
okay.
And I haven't really heard Ariana's singing voice. I've seen like snippets of her Broadway show that like are illegally recorded.
All right.
But we should like I would love to go and actually watch her thing. That would
I'm
be
down. She's
amazing.
going in August, which is just next month, so it might be too soon, but I'm sure she'll go back.
I got a email from American Airlines that was like $65 flights from certain destinations. So I'm gonna
Oh,
send it to you. We could look into it.
all right.
Um,
Yeah.
and then the only other like side comment about other people, like people are literally making shit up. So Hannah, this girl made this sad video. And it's like me finding out Hannah from Love Island went to Sephora to get new makeup because people kept making fun of the way she did it. And she made it to like sad music. And in the comments, like people are like, oh my gosh, Hannah, like we have to remember these guys are real people. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of messed up. Then Hannah stitches it and is like, huh? Like it was completely fake.
I can't.
Hannah
That's
was like,
funny.
"What the fuck? Like, are you serious?" She said something like that, like, "Huh?" Like, me
That is amazing. I love Hannah. And
too.
like,
And I'm like, not y'all making up rumors. And then the girl is like, "What are you talking about?"
also, like, I mean, yeah, you shouldn't make fun of people, but saying someone does their makeup bad, like, you can change it. And her makeup, look, I love Hannah. Her makeup was bad.
It was bad. It was. We talked about it.
Yeah. And she needed a new setting spray. Like she
Right.
needed something. So like,
Something else.
that's something that, if she did watch back and think, "Oh, I need new makeup," I would say that's a positive. And that's okay.
Yeah.
We love Hannah. She's a baddie.
No,
Um,
and I went to her account and I saw that a makeup brand, I don't know if they're big or not, I didn't recognize them, commented on her and like, Hannah, we'd love it if you wore our stuff. And she was like, sure. So
period.
she seems like she's chill about it. But for them to be like, Hannah is heartbroken
I
because
can't
they told
believe
her
it.
she had to go to Sephora. And it's like, so
And
like
she's like,
even
"What
how
the
it
fuck are
sounds
you
is like
talking about?"
even how it sounds is like she had to go all the way to Sephora for new makeup. It's like it just sounds like they're trying to make it deep. I mean, I believed it for a second. I was like, oh damn, that does kind of suck. But
Yeah.
she was like, no, that's not true.
But even
So
if she
we
did,
gotta believe.
I could see it like being like a joking thing, like her going to Sephora and be like, "They're making fun of me, they're dragging me, I gotta change my makeup." Like not
Yeah.
like a
No, she could
serious.
definitely. Yeah, she could definitely spin it and make it positive. That's the thing about social media is people do talk shit, but if you receive it well, it's good. Like Kaylor, she saw somebody made a cookie of the face of her crying.
Hmm.
And she like
Fuck.
stitched it. She stitched it and was like, ha ha ha, like laughing. And it's like,
Yeah.
and then everyone in the comments is like, oh my God. Well, everybody in the comments is like, please leave Aaron. But if she was in a different situation, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Kayler, we love you," So it's like it's all about how
Yeah.
you receive it.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why Chelsea from Love is Blind, I think, was received well after everything because
Oh,
she
she was
like
so
was
chill
rolling with the
online.
punches and was like chill.
Yeah, she was
And she
very
was
chill
like, "I
about
know
it.
I look crazy, but
I promise you, this man was two different people. I swear it. And she was right, and we believe her. And I haven't thought about her since. I mean,
I
I
know."
think it makes me think of the conversation that Taylor was having, and I'm like, they're like, oh, nobody's gonna be talking about Leah in 6 months. I mean, it is true. I don't know what the context was. Maybe she was just saying, like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like in 6 months, people aren't gonna be worried about this. Like maybe it was
Yeah.
something like that, like how we watch Love is Blind, and I've barely thought about those people since.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing. You never really know. I mean, in like
Mhm.
they could be doing stuff that like they'll still be relevant, but it's just no one in 6 months is going to be talking about this season as much as they are now. Like that's just natural with
Right.
life. So like,
Right. Let it
you know,
blow over. It is what it is.
right? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Uh, but with that being said, should we jump into this finale?
The finale.
Yes. Now, I was just thinking because this finale was 2 hours long and there was a lot of the same. Should we go kind of by each couple and maybe
Oh,
talk
that's
about the
cool.
finale? Like we could
I
talk
like
about their
that.
date, their speech.
Yeah, let's
all
do
that. Because
that.
those were the real important things. Because a lot of it was like, we're writing down what we would say in
Yeah.
the speech, or like, I wonder what they're doing on the date. They come back from the date. Our date was this and it was nice. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And
So
I was telling Brandon earlier, I skipped over those parts. I was like, I don't have time to watch the spa day. I watched
I know.
the dates. And I mean, the couple react, like nobody really, there was no sidebar from the other couple that I think from the other couples that really mattered much.
I
So I feel like we
agree.
could just focus on them. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So let's do that. Should we go in order of their placement? So like
Let's,
fourth to first.
yes. Or we can go in order of the dates.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
yeah, it's basically the same. No, it's not.
Is it? It's
Uh,
almost.
okay, let's just talk about who won. And then, yeah, we can do it in that order.
You want to do it like start with the winner
Start with the loser.
or start with the loser? Okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
start with fourth. Yes, yes, yes. And then go and then end with the winner. Okay, I see.
Hmm.
Look at y'all getting a taste of our admin right now. Look at that. So we'll start with our fourth place couple, Nicole and Kendall, to which
Nicole and
we weren't
Kendall.
very surprised
I
that
wasn't.
that was their placement.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say they did have kind of like a very like interesting journey this finale to where I didn't expect it to be. Like they kind of for being vanilla for most of the like part where they were like solid and like a couple, this finale kind of proved a little like not messy, but like there was a little something going on with it that I was like, okay, there's something to talk about.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we didn't see everything, but we'll get into it. It makes me feel like we didn't see everything.
Yeah. But they did have their date, and their date was parasailing, which I thought looked like a lot of fun. It made me want to
It looked
do
like,
it.
yeah, it looked like so much fun because Nicole said she'd never done it before, and yeah, it looked like a lot of. They were both so giddy. They're like,
They
oh my
were,
gosh, wow! And then the little picnic setup. I love how Nicole's like, this looks just like our last date. Imagine if production like
was just
reused
like,
some stuff.
it's the same beach. No, that would be funny. When she pointed that out, I was like, oh yeah, I remember their first date. It's wild
Yeah,
to think about that because remember she went on a date with him and Cordell.
yeah,
So that was crazy to think about. I
kind
was
of
like, oh my God, I
crazy.
forgot.
Yeah,
Um,
Nicole was like touching Cordell
oh yeah,
and
they like
filling
made
up on
out
him.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's funny. But yeah, so they get to the private island and it's basically they're just like reminiscing on their
Hmm.
relationship and the path it took. And Kendall makes a joke about how he's now triggered by triangles because he was
Which
in
is
love
funny.
triangles. I'm like, okay, Kendall.
It's funny because we've been talking a lot about how Kendall has PTSD, and I'm like, he's literally confirming
He's like, yeah, I
it.
can't look at a triangle. I can't look at a slice of pizza. I can't look at a chip. I can't look at anything without being
Yeah.
like, I was once kind of in a love triangle for like a day. And it's like, okay, Kendall.
And he's like literally panicking, and Nicole's like, chill, bro. And then she tells him, like, oh, but you handled it well. And I was like, when? I mean, I guess after a while, he didn't handle it well at first, girl.
No, he didn't at all. Well, he did the Kendall thing where it was like to her, he would be like, oh, yeah, totally, I understand. And then to everyone else, he's like, I can't fucking believe she's talking to Miguel. Like, be real.
Right.
And like
Like,
all
I'm
this.
freaking out, guys. I'm freaking out.
I'm
And
freaking
then
out.
she and then they finally talk because then he stopped. Remember, he stopped talking to her for a little bit, and she's like, why aren't you talking to me? And he's like, well, I feel away. And she's like, well, I told you what it was. And then he like held his own, and then she's like, okay. So I think that's the
Yeah.
him handling it well. I was like, girl, you we saw him spiral.
He was spiraling. And then he did the petty thing in the dance game, which, they
Oh
moved
yeah.
past. But I was just
They
like,
moved.
I don't think he handled it that well. But I guess he could have handled it worse.
Yeah. Could have been
Um,
worse.
yeah, but Nicole gets emotional telling Kendall about how she feels. And she said something
Hmm.
funny. She was like, things that would normally annoy me make me like you even more. And I'm like, I wonder what that is. Maybe it is like the little dances he does or like the songs he makes up. She's
Yeah,
like,
he's
usually I would
so
find
like
that lame as fuck, but for some reason in you, it's endearing.
I was thinking while she said that, like, I wonder if it'll be endearing in a month or 2 months.
I mean, we'll see. Okay, so we gave, what was it? We gave Kayla and Aaron September 1st. They're gonna be doing the reunion.
Yeah.
It's premiering in August 19th. I found out in an
Yeah.
interview, I think JaNa confirmed that reunion's happening in New York. Ariana's
Oh.
hosting. And I'm like,
Oh.
Ariana really is that bitch because she's gonna be doing Broadway. And they're like, we'll come to you.
I know
I'm
that's
like,
right.
I
No, that's
can't.
great. I
Period.
mean, I bet it's too much money to send them all back to Fiji. New York is
That
probably
part too.
cheap.
So I thought I was like, I thought
Yeah.
maybe LA, but I'm like, okay, New
Yeah.
York works too.
I love that they like accommodated her.
I know,
Her
right?
team was probably working with them to be like, propose this destination and give them
Yeah.
reasons why. And New York is international. Everybody can get there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Um,
but yeah, she was talking about how good of a guy he is and stuff. And like Kendall is a really good guy. Like
he is.
he talks a little too much. Because it's like I mean, we've seen him even talk low key shit about Nicole. Like he talks too much.
He
But
does.
in the real world, he you probably wouldn't hear all of his shit talking. So
Yeah.
that aside,
His actions seem to be nice and like he's overall like a nice guy.
he's a very nice guy. He like really does take care of the person that he's with. I think he can be a little over emotional, but like in the categories of guys, he is a good guy.
He
Like he's really
is
sweet. He's almost like a Bergie if Bergie was messy.
a
Like
little bit a messy Fergie. That's
a
funny.
messy Bergie, but he's like kind of like nerdy and like quirky,
Yeah.
but he's very sweet and he's attractive, he's charming, he's got his stuff.
He does. And, this is where the date kind of takes a little bit of a turn. He gets very emotional and he talks about, I've been burned in the past and I haven't felt like this before. And then he's just like, because he had told, I think, Miguel and Cordell, or maybe just Cordell beforehand, like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna tell her, like, that I'm falling in love with her. And he
Mhm.
straight up tells her, he's like, I love you. And he says he realized it when he came back from Casa and then there was kind of like a break, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is she gonna say it back?
Yeah.
And then she goes, I do have a lot of love for you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
he's not saying it back.
She didn't say it back. And like as soon as he said it, he looked scared.
He
Like he
did.
looked worried. He's just like, yeah. And it's like, ah. She told him like she needs more time to like say it back, but like she does really care about him and stuff. And so
Yeah.
this is when it kind of got weird.
A little, because she was like, oh, she started to make up a little bit. She was like, I want my moment to say it. And I'm like, well, if you felt it, you would just say that would be the moment, which is
No,
fine. Uh,
yeah. I think what she was saying is like I'm gonna say it in my time.
yeah.
Like she wasn't ready to say it. And like but she made prob I mean obviously she felt well, Kendall looked scared. So it's like
Yeah.
if he had said it and would have just been confident like I love you, and I'm like so happy to tell you that and you can say it back when you're ready, whatever, but I love you, and like was like that, it'd be one
Yeah.
thing, but he looked like girl,
He
what do
was
you
like,
have to say to me?
are you gonna say it back?
Yeah, he looked like, and he looked worried. He kind of looked disappointed. A little. Did he look disappointed? I think he just looked worried.
I think he looked worried, and then he was just like, I don't know. He was probably nervous. I mean, you're telling someone you love them. Like, that's got to be
Yeah.
nerve-wracking. And so, but I mean, when they get back from the date, it's when it's kind of like, because he like tells like Kenny and
Yeah.
Cordell, he's like, oh, I told her I love you. And they're like, oh, yeah, yeah. And he's like, but she didn't say it back. And they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And but she said she felt it, but just couldn't say it. And it's like, wow,
And he
okay,
looks devastated telling the
yeah,
guys this. Like he doesn't look happy.
he does it. I think Cordell tries to tear him up, but he like cries to us, and he's like, it's okay, like I'll wait however long, like da 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 da. And I'm like,
Oh, this is rough.
it is. I was like, damn, I feel kind of bad for Kendall right now. Like, and Kendall hasn't been our
I
favorite, but I'm like, ooh,
No, I did feel, yeah, when he was crying, I was like, gosh, oh my gosh.
I
But
know,
I was a little surprised, but I'm like, I'm confused. I don't know. I was confused because Nicole tells the girls, and they're like, you didn't say it back. and then she starts crying. And so
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because the girls were shocked. I feel like something else had to happen. I have a feeling that Kendall looked disappointed maybe on the way back. Maybe it was weird on the way back from their date because like why is Nicole upset too? You know, like she's just like
Yeah.
she's not there yet and was wondering if she ruined it is what she tells the girls. And I'm just like, Kendall, you can't tell somebody you love them this soon without giving them space to like figure out their feelings. Like it's
Yeah.
almost as if he was expecting her to say it back, which is not fair. And then like, I don't know. Maybe
It,
he felt like the emotions of it all, like everything is heightened.
yeah. It's confused. It's probably a lot of things because I think she felt bad, like that she couldn't say it back in the moment. So she did feel like maybe she ruined the moment or the date a little bit. She probably
Yeah.
felt bad that she, um, maybe disappointed Kendall or something and like didn't want to make
Yeah.
him feel bad. And then I think also she's mentioned a lot about like her past like relationships have
Yeah.
been bad. So it probably, I think she mentions even it like scared her.
Yeah.
Because I do think, I don't know what other people think. I think she does love Kendall, but I don't think he's someone she's used to dating.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think Nicole is being level-headed about it. It's like there's a lot. I think they've
Yeah.
been here for probably a month or two. It's like I just met you and like we're not in a relationship and like
Yeah.
I think
Let's
that
see
she's
how
just
it
kind
is
of
on the outside.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't blame her for not saying it back because that is a lot to say to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you're in this heightened experience where everything is emotional and everything is intense and everything is at 200, you know. I would
Mm-hmm.
not want to say I love you to somebody here. And Nicole is somebody who's kind of level-headed and thinks about things, you know. And so for Kendall to it almost seems like Kendall was expecting her to say it back and I don't think that's fair. You know, like if you love
Yeah.
somebody and you want to tell them you love them, it shouldn't matter what they think. Like
Yeah. It shouldn't.
it
But
shouldn't
then,
matter, but it
yeah,
mattered a lot to him.
it did. I can get being like, it's hard because it's like, I could see like if you say it and if they
Tough.
don't say it back, you're like, damn, like I like them. Maybe they're just not that into me, or maybe they're not at the level. But I think it is like logically, it's like, well, clearly, like, well, not clearly, but like in this case, it's like, okay, she likes you a lot and has a lot of love
Yeah,
for you. She's just not ready, and everyone moves at their own pace. So it's like
right.
it's pretty normal. But I can understand feeling a little like, well,
Let
damn,
down.
a
Oh
little
yeah.
let down. But when what he did, which I didn't like, but I guess I don't know if we get to their speech when because he
Mhm.
keeps saying like, I'll wait a year, I'll wait a
Mhm.
month, whenever you're ready to say it. And he just keeps saying it. And I'm like, okay, like you're kind of like putting pressure on her to say it and just like
Oh, you felt like that was pressure?
a little bit, maybe not meaning to, like maybe he thought he was like just coming across as like the good guy that's like, oh, I don't even care. Like it's fine. Like whenever you want to tell me. But when you keep like pushing it and then it's like, yeah, I was the one to say I love you and you didn't, it can
Oh,
kind of make her feel like she needs to say it, which I think
yeah.
she did feel it, but I don't know. There was something about it where he just like
There's a
kept
lot.
pushing it. So like
Yeah,
there's
there's a
just
lot of layers here.
mm-hmm,
I personally didn't feel like he was pushing it. I
mm-hmm.
just I feel I think in the moment Kendall was saying I love you and he wanted to hear it back.
Yeah.
Then they got back to the villa. He talked to the guys and was like, okay, you know, he started thinking about it more and was like, nah, she says it when she's ready, and that's fine. I don't want to hear and I love you when you're not ready, you know?
Yeah.
And then because then they talk later. But like, I think that Nicole is fine for like how she reacted. I didn't
Oh
feel like
yeah.
he was putting pressure because he said it in his speech because they had to make this big
Mm-hmm.
romantic vows basically they had
Yeah,
to
I
write
know.
vows
That
to
was I
each other.
was like, I didn't know Love Island was doing all this.
Like this is kind of a lot. Y'all aren't getting married or
That's
nothing.
the thing. I'm like, this is basically a wedding.
No, it really
And
it
they just
really
became
was.
boyfriend and girlfriend officially. So like what are we doing with
Yes.
this wedding?
No, it's kind of crazy. So I feel like I didn't feel like he was putting pressure on her. But it's a little nuanced. Like I think I agree with you. I understand him being disappointed, but it made me think like, nah, don't say that stuff until you're cool with whatever result. Like I mean, I can only compare it to myself. I fall in love with people fast. Me and Obi were dating for like he wasn't even my boyfriend. We were just date I mean, we dated for a year before he asked me to be his girlfriend, which was really annoying. But anyway, like I
We don't
went
have to
on a
talk
trip,
about
I
that.
came we don't have to talk about it. I went on a trip, I came back, and I told him I loved him maybe 4 months in. And I was like, you don't have to say it back. I mean, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to hear it. But I was like, you say it when you're ready. And I was fine
Yeah.
with that because I know that he moves slow. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I feel like when you do that, you should be okay with it. But then I agree with you though that yeah, I think Nicole has been hurt in the past. She probably does love him and was just not ready to say it. And she's a little more cautious with saying things like that, which is okay. Like
Yeah.
I think her feelings are 100% valid just to be like it's okay. But I think she was scared because okay, they talk later, and what she said later concerned me even more.
Oh, the part where she's like, I thought you were gonna freak out on me.
Yeah, and I was like, why the fuck would she think
I
that?
was like, is she? Because for me, I was like, because he was like, why would I freak out on you? I'm like, is she bringing her past in it, or is she thinking about how he's low key petty?
That part, I was like, Kendall
So I'm
does
like,
talk shit.
that's the thing. So I'm like, which one is it? Because it could be either
It
one.
could be both.
It could
It
be
could be
both.
both.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's probably the first one because I was like, is there a side of Kendall we haven't seen yet? Does he latch out on people?
I know. I'm like, maybe that will come
Because
out in
whenever
the interviews.
what'd you say?
Maybe that will come out in the interviews.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, maybe, yeah, maybe that's what he does, but I didn't think of it that way. I think I mean, he doesn't give us any context that he does that to Nicole or
Yeah.
anybody. Anytime he confronts anybody, it's like, I'm sorry. He's not a
Yeah.
confrontational person. But yeah, I don't know why she would think that. Yeah, I think Nicole has a little bit of relationship PTSD, and unfortunately, sometimes you're with the best person, but like fears of the past really get into your head and kind of like ruin things sometimes.
I agree. Um, as in regards to their, because in they give they have like their love declarations that they say to
Hmm.
each other. What did you think of Nicole's dress?
I didn't like
I
it.
hated it. I was like, Nicole.
I was like, I didn't, sorry, Nicole, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I was like, what is this? This doesn't look.
And then Kendall had the most basic tuxedo. I hate when
Yeah,
guys wear black tuxes because it's like, I've seen this 1,000. I mean, you look nice, but like,
I
damn,
know.
no color. Could be red, burgundy. You could have done
Could be
something else.
something.
I don't know if that's all he brought. I didn't know if production got them suits because I was also like, where did
I
these
think
suits
they
come from?
do. Because I saw
They have
on
to.
TikTok, I think they
Mhm.
get gifted even like clothes. Like,
Yeah,
and that's
I
why
was
they
about to
sometimes will
say.
wear like each other's or whatever. It's like they get gifted from certain brands and like give it to the girls and like the guys to wear.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, Miguel wore a do-rag this whole time. I know he didn't have a suit in his bag. You know
You
what
know,
I mean? So I was like, not a
um,
black suit, Kendall. Yeah, they didn't I didn't like their clothes very much.
I didn't either. I was a little disappointed and I was like, Nicole, you could have done better. But you know what? Hey, you got fourth,
Yeah.
so it's fine. But Kendall does say in his love devotion that I they say a lot, so I just try to take some of the key points.
Yeah,
So
I
if
just
I
got
miss
Cliff
anything,
Notes. I got Cliff Notes.
right. He's like, I get chills thinking of when we first met. I never thought I would find someone that accepts me for me, says I love
Hmm.
you again, and whenever you want to express those words, I'm ready. And then that's when I was like, okay, are you low key putting a little pressure on her a little
No, it
bit?
could
But
be. You're right. It could be
I don't
I
know.
didn't think of it that way, but it could be. Like, yeah.
But I
Sorry.
did get a sense that maybe she would say it in her part because I think it was during the like girls day, like the massages and all that. She was like, I've been reflecting and like getting emotional about it and wondering why like it freaked me out when someone said they loved me. And so now I want to like put everything into this or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
So
that
I
makes
was
a lot
like,
of sense.
yeah, I was like, okay, I feel like she's gonna say it, which She
Okay.
just, which she says in her, she was like, he's given her so much respect and understanding, and now it's her turn to be honest, and that he's her favorite person. And then this moment, I kind of, when she goes, she just goes, "I'm in love with you, Kendall." And like, it was very emotional. She was like choked up. He looked surprised. I was watching and I was kind of like, oh, am I into Nicole and
Yeah.
Kendall right now?
No.
It was a beautiful moment, I thought.
No, it was everyone. All the girls were like, Leo was like sobbing. All the girls were crying, and he was like, "Do you mean that?" Like,
When they like sat down, he said that. I was like, okay,
mhm.
Kendall. She said it.
No, Brandon, it's a big deal to both of them.
It
It's hard to,
is.
it's hard, like sometimes seeing Kendall's reactions are just like intense all the time. So I
They
think we're
are.
kind of over him. But I think to them, like it means a lot to say that, like, for the first time and be vulnerable and stuff. It's hard because it's like we're watching a show, but it's like, no, I think these two people like really love each other and they're like figuring
Hmm.
out in 4K. So yeah, I thought their both of their things was like really cute. And he brought it back to the blindfold story during his part, and I was like, I forgot that that's what happened.
Oh yeah, when he kind of mentioned that, I was a little like, I remember when I first met you when I was blindfolded. And you're just like, this is such an odd first meeting, but it was. Um, but yeah,
Hmm.
overall, they got fourth place and like we
Yeah.
got that, but I think they seem genuine and I'm hopeful that they last.
I'm not giving them a date. I actually think that they will work out very well together. But some unfortunate things have happened to Kendall. I don't know if you heard.
Oh yeah, he like had like a video someone like leaked or something. I didn't see it and like
I didn't watch it either.
yeah, and like Twitter was mentioning like, oh, like this is crazy that well, I had saw one tweet talking about something with Kendall and I'm like, but it was only one tweet. So I'm like, is Twitter just making shit up again? And then I started to see more, and then there was articles, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's like fucked up that someone leaked that, but also like right when you're getting out of like this crazy show and like getting your phone back, this happens. Like
Hmm.
that's insane.
I
So,
felt bad for him because, like, we know
hmm,
how emotional and how he wears his emotions on his sleeves and how he reacts when people aren't a fan of him. So
yeah.
I think this is probably pretty devastating. He put a statement on Instagram. He said, way to get back to my phone, y'all. I just want to address the content that came out from my past. That was something I shared to someone in confidence and trust, and it's unfortunate that it's no longer private, but it is what it is. I want to thank you all for the calls, texts to support me during this time. I'm so grateful for my Love Island experience, and I love you all for tuning in to watch my journey. Excited for what's next. But that's all he
Hmm.
posted, and I was like, I'm sure he's going through it because that's really embarrassing and that's really fucked up. Like,
It
I don't
is.
care what you think of, I don't know why, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, Kendall's kind of annoying, but for that, like, what did he
Yeah.
do to you for you to share that? He
I
hasn't
don't
posted
know.
anything since. He hasn't posted anything at all, really. Or he posted his like little interview with Ariana. That's all he's posted, and that was 22 hours ago. And I know I mean, people are doing interviews already and he's not. So I hope he's all right. That really
Yeah.
sucks.
Same. I hope it's all good. And it's probably, I'm sure Nicole's by his side. And I know his sister spoke out and like defended him and like all that. So,
Oh,
y-
she did?
yeah, she said something like, oh, this is fucked up. And I hope that he's getting like proper like help. I think maybe from like Love Island or something like that, where it's like, I hope people are like providing him like the care he needs right now that's with him.
Yeah.
So,
It's go ahead.
oh no,
So
you
what?
go. No, but I
I
was
was
just,
gonna say,
oh,
no, you
I was
go.
cutting. You go. No, you go.
No,
No.
you go.
Uh, but I was just gonna say it seems like he has support, which is good. So that's probably
Hmm.
making it easier at least.
Yeah, and as much as people can really be shitty online, people can also be really supportive, especially
True.
when an injustice happens. So I don't I think a lot of people are on Kendall's side, like it's messed
Oh
up. It's
yeah.
funny because I heard about this because of Kane. Kane's making videos every day
Oh
and
God.
he was cooking breakfast, and somebody was like, did you see what happened to Kendall? And he was basically like I didn't see what happened, but like that's really fucked up. Like this is a person who has a real life. Like that's not, he was like defending him. And then I went and tried to see what happened. I guess the video got taken down from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's circulating online, so hopefully it's gone, but like that's
Right.
such a terrible thing to come home to. I'd be
Yeah.
devastated.
Same. And like you said, yeah, it seems like a lot of social media is basically like, this is fucked up. Like, why would you do that? So they're supporting him as well. So that's good at
Yeah.
least, but again, really fucked up. But, you
Yeah.
know, I'm sure again, Nicole's supporting him. And
Oh
like you said,
yeah.
I think we're not going to give them a date. I think they're going to
I think
last
they're
a
gonna
while.
last. I really think Cordell. I really think Kendall and I thought my phone was ringing. I really think Kendall and Nicole are gonna make it. Like
Hmm.
they're really locked in. They really care about each other. I feel like all of their feelings were very genuine. It's funny because when they went last, I was like, I bet they think they're about to win. What did you think of their reaction to winning?
Oh, well, they
Or I mean to
reacted as if
losing.
they won. That's what I noticed.
I was like, it looks like production told you guys ahead of time, like, hey, here's how it's gonna go. And then they prepped themselves, like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Because I know their reaction was not real.
Well, it
That
was
was
just
not
like
real.
fourth place, Nicole and Kendall. And they're
And
like, yes, amazing. And I'm like, well, you
they're
can all like that's last. Like
what are you
and
celebrating?
and then Ariana's only thing to them was just like, you guys found love. Great. Now take a seat by the champagne.
Go get some champagne. And then even when they went to get their champagne, they were giggling. And I was like, okay, I think you guys prepped yourselves, for regardless of the outcome. Because we know they're the most competitive. I thought Kendall was gonna like lock or something. So I think they like prep themselves or talk to each other like, okay, whatever happens, happens. It's all good.
Yeah.
Like I think they their reaction was a little like somebody braced them for it. Not
Yeah.
not to say somebody told them they were gonna lose, but I think they just prepared themselves for it.
Yeah, which makes sense. And he probably, given the emotional journey that was like the date and all that and the I love you, they probably
Hmm.
like even were like whatever at this point. Like it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
Um
All the other couples were shocked though that they were last.
they were, and I mean
Yeah.
we'll get to it eventually, but Leah was very shocked by a lot that went down. But third place, we have JaNa and Kenny. Now,
Kenny.
I was a little surprised because I kind of expected them to get second place, not gonna
Me
lie.
too. Me too,
But
yeah.
regardless, the Leah fans are strong, which I get, and I do like Leah and Miguel. But is what it is. But with
Mhm.
their date, they had a tree filled with messages from family and friends. And it was like super sweet messages, and like Janae cries. I think there was one from like her brother and stuff like that. It was sweet.
Mhm.
And then they had like a
Yeah.
dinner.
It was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, they heard, yeah, it looked like they did you see what was on the I didn't I saw it looked like a dinner setup.
It was. It was like I think it was like a little dinner setup. And like they were kind of talking about like, oh, that's crazy seeing like notes from our family. And she's like, I can't believe I don't know if my dad's watching. Like, I didn't tell him I was coming on here. And I'm like, that's crazy. Um,
No, that's wild,
I
Janae.
know,
Not
right? Like,
telling
what
your
are you
parents
doing?
you're gonna be on a TV show. No, but it was super sweet. She heard from pretty much all of her family members. I mean, there were a lot of letters on the tree. I was like,
There
who
was
all did y'all reach out? There was like it looked like 100. Like it looked like a lot.
too many. I was like, my date is just reading this whole time. Like, what are we doing? And then
Yeah.
but they're at the dinner, and then Kenny's like, "Oh, I knew from the first date that like I really liked you," because they could be like silent together. And I'm like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's sweet." And then they slow
No.
danced to some Ed Sheeran, and it was cute.
Yeah, the guy was there playing the guitar and they dance and kiss. She
Mm-hmm.
said she was waiting for him and like she had a tough time, but she knew she was waiting for someone. And then they go back and they have letters from their moms.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Janae has one. It's a she reads a letter to Kenny from his mom, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh, basic stuff like, oh, I miss you. I can't wait to meet Janae. Like, I'm so happy and proud of you and all that. And like, I miss speaking to you and all that. Like sweet stuff. And then Kenny has a letter from
Mhm.
Janae's mom. And it's basically like all the same stuff. Like, I miss you and I'm super proud of you, but I don't like seeing you cry, but you're strong and resilient. And calls
Mhm.
Kenny Mr. Handsome and that you found your best friend and partner. And I'm like, oh,
It was cute. No, it was super cute. After Janae read his letter, he was like, I feel really relieved. Like, I'm glad that they like you. And I guess that's a big deal, to like find out, they're
oh
watching.
yeah.
Like, what do you think? But Janae's mom's letter was so funny. She was like, seeing you shake your butt on the
Oh
first challenge.
yes.
And then she was like, where did you learn to shake your tatas? And I think I think she's referring to that challenge, the heart rate challenge when Kendall
Oh
like
yeah.
made his pecs move and then Janae in the
Oh wait, I
confessional.
forgot about that moment where she made fun of Kendall and like did it herself. Where did she learn that? Damn,
I
that
didn't know
was
women
funny.
do that.
That was a
Yeah.
funny. I forgot the mom said all that, but like, and
No.
Janae was like, "You can skip all that, Kenny, skip all that," and he's just like
Skip
dying
that part.
reading it.
No, it was so cute. And like her mom's letter seemed long too. I was like, wow,
It
mama's going
did.
in. No, but it was really sweet. Like it was so romantic. I really thought they were second place because this dinner was like so touching and stuff. And Janae
Mm-hmm.
said something like, "Oh, I was upset that we didn't get to like talk to our families, but like this is basically like the same thing. Like this is even better, being able to be here with you and they kiss and dance and eat. It was super cute.
This was too, I think, like the perfect date for Janae
Mm.
because she had said before too, like she thinks her like love language is words of affirmation. And I think
Mm.
that's true because even when like remember like when Kenny came back from Casa and they had their moment, but then they had to talk like the next day. And he was just like, she kind of apologized for freaking out on him. And he was like, it's clarity and I want to like see where things go with us and da 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 da. She like left and she was like, oh my gosh, she said everything I wanted to hear. Like, this is perfect. And we
Yeah.
know she loves to yap. So
Yeah.
she be talking.
She
So
do.
this was like the perfect date for her just to see like all these positive things people were saying about and to her
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And I
Kenny.
think that yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It was perfect for her. I don't know if it was perfect for Kenny.
You don't or you do?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
if like this is something that not that he didn't like it, but I don't know if it was like tailored for him.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what would be tailored to Kenny.
I don't know either. I don't know what he likes.
So I'm like, I
I know
think
he
he likes what Janae likes, which is
me
why
too.
it's great.
I love Kenny.
I know,
Yeah,
Kenny's
I mean
great.
I know he really values his family too, so he probably didn't not like it. But it was very like specific kind of date because did you notice they're doing the tree thing? They read all her affirmations and go sit down. They didn't read
They're
any
like,
for him.
anyways. uh,
I'm
but you know
fucking
what?
dead. She's like, let's eat dinner.
She's like, now it's time
Now
to
that
eat.
I
I got what
see,
I needed. Thanks. And he's like, yeah, of course.
it's like, of course, darling. And he pulls her chair out for her to sit down.
Have you seen the TikTok where it's like they show it's about Leah, Janae, and Serena, and it shows like Leah and Miguel, and it's like the voiceover, I think it's True Blood, but I don't know. But it's like the characters like, hey Suki, hey Bullet, and then it goes to Serena and Cordell, it's like, hey Rihanna, or hey Riri, and she's like, hey
Yeah.
Rocky. And then with
Yeah.
them, it's like, hey Barbie, hi Ken.
Hey, Ken.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
true. It's
cute.
very
It's really
accurate.
cute.
I think Leah reposted
No.
it.
Oh yeah. I think so too, because I heard it recently and I was on her story yesterday. That's so
Mm-hmm.
funny.
But yeah, their
But that's
date,
pretty much their date. Yeah.
right. It didn't have it wasn't that eventful, but it was like sweet. It was very like romantic. like
Yeah.
emotional date. I appreciated it.
Did she say anything during spa day significant? I had to skip over this part.
That's a good question. Let me look at my notes real quick. Not really. I think she was just kind of saying like she's just excited and it was like a great date and everything.
Yeah.
I don't have anything of note that Janae particularly said. So I think
Okay.
she was just overall very happy with everything, which is good. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense.
but when they have their speech time at the end, what did you think of
Speeches.
Janae's wedding dress she wore?
So, Brandon, it totally felt like a marriage
It
because
did.
Kenny is wearing a white tux and
Hmm.
Janae comes down in white. I was like, low key, y'all could say I do right
A
now.
part of
Like,
me feels like she picked out the white. She's like, I want this to feel like a wedding. And
you
I'm
know
like,
what's
pop off.
interesting? It also made me think that they were the top two because she and Kenny were matching and Cordell and Serena were matching. So I was like, did
Oh,
production just
true.
say like, hey y'all, what colors do you want to wear? I want to know what led to the dresses and like the picking
Yeah,
out and all of that. She looked beautiful though. She looked
she
great.
did.
It was a very simple look. She's like, this is my dress. This
Yeah.
is my hair. My hair, like, it
It
was
was
it
like
was
that
cute.
corset white dress.
It looked like a wedding dress low key. It could
It
have been.
did. She looked good. He looked spiffy. They looked good
Yeah.
together. They
They
looked
looked
like they could
very
be on the
nice.
top of a wedding cake, and it would be the
Yeah,
best cake ever.
right. And they went first, which also made me think like, are we getting married
I know,
today?
right?
There was a lot of a side note, there was a lot of moving around. It's like, hey, come meet your partner here. And then they meet and sit down. And
And
it's
then they go
like, all
back.
right, come say your vows over here. And then they say their vows. And then Ariana's like, come by the fire pit. Now go back to the hearts. And it's like they moved
There
a
was a lot of
lot.
moving around. I was like, what are we doing? Like, are we just taking, like, are we just trying to like fill the time?
No, for real, because when they met at the end of the aisle thing, I thought they were gonna say something, and it was like, nah, just pick her up over here. We
They're
just
just
need
like,
a
no, bring her
dramatic
back.
walk
This is
in.
just like a reveal, like a reuniting. And I'm like, okay. Because
Yeah.
even when
For
Ariana
the
brought him to the fire pit, it was just for like a few minutes, and she was just like, did y'all like the experience? Great. Now it's time to find out who won.
yeah, and then it made me think like, so there were four hearts on the floor when they went back to like find out the winner, and I don't think those hearts were there. So maybe production just needed a minute to put the hearts on the floor. I don't know.
Probably. There was probably a lot of setup and behind the scenes
Too
construction.
many moving parts for me. I was like, this is a lot.
I know. They're like they were trying to walk that perimeter of the villa and make sure we got
No.
every angle.
Right, 10,000
Um,
steps. But to answer your questions, I thought it was cute. Didn't know Janae could speak Spanish.
I know, right? That was like someone pointed out. They were like, Janae's too funny. How's she gonna speak Spanish? But when they got the video of Aaron and Daniela, had Ignacio translate.
I think someone helped her with it. There's no way she could speak
Yeah,
Spanish this whole
that's
time
what I thought
because they would have
too.
been bonding over it.
I know. That would have been brought up at least once.
Yeah.
Um, but in Kenny's speech, he kind of says how Casa was his worst day, and it hurt him so
Mm-hmm.
deeply to see her in tears. And like
Mm-hmm.
after that, he like really missed her laugh and how she caressed him at night, and hearing her say,
Mm-hmm.
Kenny. And that from that day on, he was devoted to winning her back. And I was like, and you did.
Yeah.
And you
And you
did.
did.
You
And you
did
did. You
that.
know what's crazy is I even forgot that Kenny had a time in I mean, he really didn't have a time in
It was
Casa.
like so
But
mid, and like he brought her back. I swear he brought her back because he was like, I think Janae is gonna have someone, and all the other guys are bringing someone back, so I think I have to bring someone
exactly.
back.
Exactly.
uh, and then
But
and
then
her,
he like thanked her for giving it her all and stuff.
oh
I
yeah,
honestly didn't really hear Janae's speech because I was surprised by the Spanish and then I had to read the captions and I was like, I saw it was like, thank you. She said thank you at one point. That's the only thing I got from
uh,
her speech.
yeah, it was like because she starts off, she's just saying like, oh, like you have the sweetest kind of soul. You made my insecurities fade away, and then she broke into the made my
Mhm.
insecurities fade away. I think it just said fade away. And then she started speaking Spanish, and she said stuff like, "Oh, I feel like I don't deserve you, but I'm happy to call you mine here." And like he's just like looking stunned. Like, oh my gosh, she's
Yeah.
speaking Spanish. And then
Yeah.
Serena yelling, bilingual queen.
I
And I'm like,
love them.
period. But it was sweet. She was just saying
It
some
was
nice
very cute.
stuff. And it was just very
No,
cute. Yeah.
no, it's super cute. No, it was cute. And then when we find out that they got third place, they were still very happy because they're like, wow, we thought we would be last or first, you know. I mean, put in not first, but put in last place, like told
The
first
first to
that
go
we
to the
were.
champagne.
Yes, thank you, Francie.
Maggie's like, no, what is the
But
opposite of first?
I literally like my brain stopped working for a second. I haven't eaten anything today. I need to
Oh
like, meh.
no.
But it's fine. But yeah, I thought their reaction was cool. Granted, though, when they go off to the side, they're standing there with Kendall and Nicole, and Janae's like, "Oh my gosh!" and Serena's like pointing at her like, "You did that, girl! You did it!" And Kenny is just standing there still looking at Ariana. And I was like, I don't know if he zoned out or if he looked upset, but later he was laughing. So I was
Oh
like, I didn't know
yeah.
if he was upset for a second, but like he was just standing there like still, and Janae's being Janae, like, girl,
Yeah.
like goofing off with everybody.
He probably was just zoned out and like he tends to focus a lot and like
Yeah.
zone out kind of. Um
I peeped that during the back to the date. Remember Janae's zoned out phase when Kaylor was talking that everybody
yes,
she
when
made the same face during the date, and I was like, I think that's just her face when she's focused.
I did kind of notice that too, but it that was the funniest when it was like before Kaylor and Aaron left. I think it was the recoupling like after Casa or like when like, Serena and Cordell were back and all that. But Kaylor and
Mhm.
Aaron, Kaylor's just like, I'm just so excited to see where we go and like this is gonna be amazing. And Janae's just like,
Janae looks like a broken doll. You know when like one eye is closed and one eye is open and it's
yeah,
smiling? Like she was
she really did. I was like, oh my gosh.
if y'all haven't
Same
seen
Janae.
it, Google or go on TikTok, look at like Janae like frozen face or Janae. They said Janae disassociating. It is so funny. But she
It's
made
amazing.
I brought it up because she made the same face at the table. And I think that's just how she looks when she's focused.
Probably. I could see that, but it was funny. Uh, uh,
Okay.
but we
Leah and
love
Miguel.
Janae and Kenny.
Kenny.
And
No, they're so cute.
they were cute in the Chicks in the Office and every other interview. And I'm excited to see what they do after this.
Yeah, did they say anything like additional that's cool to know or
No, just what I said earlier about like they've got a lot of dates planned. I think Janae did mention that um she was surprised they even made the finals because they were kind of
yeah.
new. And she did say, because I guess Serena thought Janae was gonna win, and Janae thought Serena was gonna win, so they made like a bet. So I guess now Serena owes her $4,000. So that was kind of funny,
I'm dead.
right? But other than that,
That's hilarious.
she's like, either way, I was getting money, and I'm like, period. But then that brings us to our runner-ups, Leah and Miguel.
Yes.
And I love their
Leah and
outfits for their
Miguel.
date. He had like the green set, she had the blue set. I was like, okay.
Yeah. No, they looked really nice.
Yes, and they ride an ATV, and low-key, it seems a little dangerous because she's ridden
Yes.
one, but he hasn't. And she's like, I can drive. And he's like, nope. And then he drives, but
Yeah.
it's like there's like a cliff and like a hill. And I'm like, I would not want to do that, like at all.
Yeah, when it was cute how he put her helmet on. But then she's like, "Have you done this before?" He's like, "No." And she's like, "Should I think she was a little nervous. But then
Yeah,
when I saw that it was just him drive, you don't need an ATV to drive on the road. You could have gave them a Vespa, a little scooter
right.
or something, a little
A little
motorcycle. I don't
something.
know,
Yeah,
a golf cart.
a
They didn't
golf
need an
cart.
ATV to drive on the road.
They didn't, but that was part of the experience and the fun
Yeah.
date. They probably had like the
No.
worst date in my opinion, but as far as like activity,
Uh, I kind of I agree. I agree. Because it was just like drive this ATV up this road. I think they were trying to make it really scenic and cute, and it
Yeah.
was, but it wasn't like an activity. They were on the ATV for maybe, I don't know, we don't know how long, maybe 10 minutes. That's
Yeah,
not,
and then it was just like, oh, we have this little setup here for like
yeah.
food. And I'm like,
And
okay.
Leah's never left the villa, so it's like, oh, it's
She
her first time
hadn't.
leaving, and they didn't really do anything
That
cool.
was wild to think that she,
Yeah.
of this whole time, I think was like the only one that never left the villa and
Yeah,
like got a
because
date.
right, well, oh yeah, Cordell did go on a date. Yeah, everybody has been on a date except for her.
Mm-hmm.
They were hype. It was cute how he carried her to like the exit too.
It was nice. They
They're both
looked
so
very,
goofy.
they are, and they look cute together. And again, their
Yeah.
outfits were on point. Um, but they're
Yeah.
talking about like on their date, like life outside the villa. And Leah's saying how she's
Hmm.
nervous but excited, and the first thing she wants to do is ride her horse and like do that with him. And then she like freaked herself out because she never lets anyone meet her horses. So she was like, but you know, I kind of want you to meet them. And I'm like, oh, this is sweet.
Yeah. She was like, I can't believe I just said that out loud. Oh my
I can't
gosh.
believe
And
it.
it's
I
like,
kind of just
okay.
freaked myself out just now. I'm like, oh, Leah, look at you opening
Literally.
up.
Yeah, and it was cute. They had champagne. The view on the cliff was beautiful.
It
Like it was
was.
really pretty. The champagne, the cheese, everything looked really nice. And then they talk about family and she's like she thinks her parents would like him. He kind of reminds her of the good sides of her dad.
Oh yeah, she's like, don't take this the wrong way, but you remind me a lot of my dad. And
Yeah.
she's like, but just like the good parts and like all that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of like sweet and nice.
No, it is sweet. I mean, people say that you end up marrying your father, you marry your mom. I don't really know why, but
You
they
know,
say that.
they do say that. So, you know, maybe that's a good omen for her and Miguel.
Right. And then he
Um,
said that she'd really get along with it. He sees that he and her
mhm,
sister would probably be closer than they are.
yes. And I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, looks like y'all will get along with each other's families. That's nice.
Yeah.
And then she does say to him, like, once we coupled up, I feel like my time became what it was always meant to be. And then he's all like, oh, it's weird to say that I flew to the other side of the world to find someone that was so similar to me. And I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah.
also sweet.
It was super cute. And he was talking and he got tongue-tied again. And I was like, maybe he just gets nervous around Leah. He
He might,
likes
because usually he's a
Leah.
smooth talker, but he's all like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. And then he goes into like his
Yeah.
accents and like it's
Yeah.
goofy. I'm like, I know
I
that's
think
right.
he's the onion, right? He's the one that like I feel like he's not always super talking about his feelings,
Yeah.
not really sentimental or emotional, but you know, she brings out that side of him. They're really cute. It's funny because the last episode we recorded, I was like, I don't know, but I actually think they really like each other.
I agree. They seem like
Hmm.
it's hard because sometimes I look at her and I'm like, is he into her a little more than she's into
Yeah.
him? And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's how it
that
looks.
could be true, but then I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I will say she flew back to California and he's not with her, but they were seen making out when they were out to eat with everyone. And he
Yeah.
did say in some Rolling Stone article, I think that he still wants to like pursue things with her. So I think it
Yeah.
sounds good. He'll probably come
I
to
think it sounds
California.
Yeah, I think it sounds good too. I think they're fine, you know? And then like yeah, like when she gets back, she's saying to the cameras like they get closer and closer every day. They're on the same page and she really likes him. I think they have something that could last.
They do, and I hope so. And again, I think we said this before, even if maybe it's not a relationship, I hope there's at least still a friendship with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I really like them. They were the shocking couple, I would say, that we didn't expect
Not at
and
all.
like became kind of like beautiful.
Yeah, like we
It's
didn't
just so
expect it.
beautiful.
We didn't expect it. We didn't want it, but we love it.
Because it happened so randomly. But apparently,
It
what I'm
did.
hearing too, like he had been into her for a while. That was another thing. Okay, Janae said in some interview, she was like, on that date where they went on the boats, when it was
Hmm.
like Kenny, Nigel, and Cassidy were the bombshells and they had to pick
Hmm.
people. I guess Miguel was talking to Serena and JaNa off camera, even when they weren't supposed to talk, and was basically asking for advice about Leah and being like, "Oh my gosh, I really like Leah. Like, I kind of want to like talk to her." So
Wow.
it seemed like he was like, and then I guess he told, because I guess I forgot this. When Kenny first came in, he pulled Leah for a chat. And then a couple weeks later, Miguel told him, yeah, I didn't like that. So I had to like really step it up. And I'm like, okay,
Wow.
Miguel.
Miguel. No, that's see that kind of even makes more sense. I think Miguel is like kind of shy, kind of scared, like, you
He
know,
is.
overthinks things a little bit until he acts. That's so cute.
It is.
And
I
they
mean,
also don't show their deep moments either. I think there's a lot we see them.
yeah,
Even the thing where you told me Liv said he made her upset and then like did a candlelit thing for him or for Leah to like make it up to her.
yes, exactly. They're not showing everything, which I mean, it's nice to hear about after, but it would have been nice to like see them too and get like a more well-rounded
Yeah,
picture of them. But
I
you know,
agree. Hmm.
we love them though. And then in their speeches, what did you think of Leah's dress? I love their looks.
Yeah, the orange dress was so cute.
Was it orange or red? Orangey
I
red?
don't know.
I
Now I don't remember. I thought she was wearing orange.
thought it was red, but maybe it was
I
like
just wrote that she looks great. Whatever she was wearing, I loved it.
it was good. I like the high neck in that part, and he was wearing like blue velvet.
Yeah, I was like, I see him as like a suede, like, material
Hmm.
kind of guy.
He does.
Hmm.
And he says in his speech that um your journey was an emotional roller coaster, and there's things you felt ashamed of, but you have a blinding light, I believe, that outshines all your shortcomings. And like he gets all poetic with it and
He
shit.
does. I'm
I'm
like, okay,
like,
Miguel,
oh, I know,
smooth with
right? I
it.
was like, he was like, don't be ashamed. And
Yeah,
thanks for helping me realize that I've been treating stuff as a game and I've been playing on the defense for far too long. And thank you for being everything you are. And she even gets a
yeah.
little emotional. I'm like, oh, this was a lot, Miguel. Like, okay.
No, he went in and he said everything he needed to hear. And then that's what makes I can tell that like they've had more conversations than we've seen
Yeah.
because we know that Leah is insecure about how she's portrayed and like the Rob thing. And he literally accepts her, reassures her, affirms her, and does it publicly too. Ooh.
He
Mm.
does. He's all about, and he's always, someone pointed out, he's always admiring her beauty and like all
Yeah.
that. And someone also pointed out that he was like crying at the very end of the episode, like when they were all celebrating and he was like hugging Leah. And he low-key did look misty-eyed.
Wow.
I'm like, like, damn,
Literally,
Miguel.
Miguel is the
Is
onion,
someone
not
cutting
Rob.
onions? Oh, I can't. I love it. Fuck Rob.
Her speech was funny too.
It was because she's like, if you would have told me I would end up with the guy who came in and made out with all my friends, I would have believed you. You know I like him a little toxic. And I'm like, ah,
No,
yes,
it's perfect. It's perfect.
it is. And like she thanks him for being her best friend and putting up with her and
Hmm.
made this feel like the experience she was meant to have. And I'm like, I love that because she really was
Hmm.
going through it in the beginning. She dealt with Rob's drama with his
Yeah.
overalls and his swimming routine. And then she had Connor in his tight pants. It was so much going
So
on.
much. She went through I feel like Leah kind of low-key had the roughest time in the villa, not
She
Nicole and
did.
Kendall.
Well, definitely not Nicole and Kendall as much as they would like us to think they did.
Right. No, she was like, they just get each other, and I see it. It's cute. It's cute. I would love, 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 love for them to stay together. Um, I was scrolling through her Instagram story yesterday. If I can go through it, did you have anything else up from the show you wanted to share?
Not with them. No, I think that was pretty much it with them. It was super cute and sweet, and they got second, and Liam was very shocked that they made it that
Yeah,
far. And I was like,
yeah,
low-key, I kind of was too, not because I don't
me
like
too.
you, but just because I
Yeah.
thought JaNa and Kenny were gonna get second.
Yeah, I thought
Um,
she was gonna be third, but they were like literally so shocked. It's funny because while they're standing there waiting to find the winner, both Serena and her are like pointing at each other, like, it's you then. It has to be you. What do
Yeah.
I know? And I think, again, Leah, we talked about this last episode, but Leah has really internalized all these negative things that she's heard while she's in the villa. And I think
Hmm.
she really thought that people didn't like her. So for her to see them love her and Miguel, it's funny because she asked Miguel, like, did you think we were gonna get to the bottom two? And he was like, I didn't think we were gonna be in the top
I
four.
know.
You
And
know?
did you see because Ariana did like little interviews with all of them afterwards? And Leah and
Yeah.
Miguel's, Leah was so drunk. And she was like,
Really?
I just want to thank you guys so much. Like, you have so much support for me. And like, I don't even know why. And like, you can have a kidney. It's fine. And then Ariana and Miguel just start dying. She's supposed to
You can
say,
have a kidney?
I'll give you my kidney, like to those who support you.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean you can have a kidney? That's hilarious.
Yes. And then she commented under the video and was just like, I was wasted. Whoops. And I'm like, that's funny. Because they probably were like, no more
These,
just 2 drink minimum. It's the end. Y'all can drink as much champagne as y'all want.
yeah, they probably had a bottle each or something. Also, I know they don't eat enough,
I
so
know, right?
it probably went straight to her head. At the end, Andrea, I was about to say, Ariana asked them how they were feeling, and they were just like, we're honored, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It was really sweet.
Hmm.
So I guess people have been sending Leah stuff. So on her story, she posted a picture of a t-shirt and
I
then
mean,
like
I saw
a
this.
card. Did you see it too?
Yeah, it was her quote.
Yeah, on the t-shirt it says, "Ew." Let me try to do her voice. "Ew." After he literally did his big one up there, that was like a movie. And then he stood up and said, "No, you're sending three home, and then you're still here, bitch, in your overalls now." This is printed on the t-shirt. And then I guess
Yes.
a fan like made her something. I don't know. It's from Honey Munger. Honeymonger Don't Care is the name of the business, but they sent her a bunch of stuff, and it's like something with her face on it, something that says "Stand on Business," "Bitch in your overalls," and she was like, "Bro, coming home to this and more from supporters means more to me than I can ever explain. I love you guys beyond explanation. Who needs a kidney?" Oh, that's funny. I
Oh
didn't even
yeah.
read the "Who needs a kidney" part.
uh,
Hilarious.
I
It
love that
was
they're
so cute.
sending her fun stuff like that.
Me too. I think this is the best way to leave the villa.
It
Thinking
is.
everybody hates you and finding out everybody loves you. I know she's on cloud 10.
I know, right? And it's just like again with like her having like over 1 million followers and like everyone else
Yeah.
even what was it? That was another thing Bergie said. He was like, my season did not have all that. We did not leave with all that because no one was really watching like that.
No, they broke the internet.
They
And then
did.
another thing she posted, well, she posted a lot on her story, but a lot of it was she would add Taylor Swift songs.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I guess she's a big Swiftie.
She's a Swiftie. She did You're on
And
Your
one of
Own
the
Kid, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me.
Yeah, I guess the "Who's Afraid of Little of Me" was like her song during the villa.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess she'd been like thinking about a lot of Taylor Swift's love songs too,
Oh
because she
yeah.
was like, this was playing in my head the whole time. And so that also makes me really think that like she and Miguel really like each other.
Yeah.
But she said last one, it was the who's it's a picture of the "Who's Afraid of Little Me" song, and she's like, please go tell Taylor Swift she got me through my entire Love Island experience. And I was like, this is so cute. So
I
I,
love
I mean,
that.
even though they didn't go home together, I think they're gonna be fine. Honestly, y'all should go home. The fuck? Like, you don't
That
need to be
part,
attached to the hip. I don't think
yeah.
going home is a bad sign.
I don't either. And I think that, a little space. Y'all were just together for so long. It's mainly just to like see like your friends and family. And
Yeah.
what, like for like a week, a couple days? I don't know. He did say they see each other soon. So like again, I think it's
Yeah.
normal to like separate for like a minute.
Yeah, and it's like that's kind of expensive. Like I'm pretty sure Love Island's not like we're gonna send you to where you want to go. Like
No.
he would have had to pay to fly to where she was at, and I just feel like that's kind of a lot. So
Right.
like I don't know. I don't blame Miguel for going home. I think that's fine. Space is good.
I agree. Love them. Sleeper couple that we didn't see coming, but we appreciate.
Yep.
But that does leave us to our final couple, the winners, the ones we
The
loved,
winners,
the ones we
the
voted
ones we
for,
love.
and the
Yep.
ones I think most deserving,
Me
Serena
too.
and Cordell.
Literally the best to win. It's so funny because I feel like early on we clocked that. Like I never thought ill of either of them except for like Cordell and Casa. But from
Same.
jump, I was like, okay, she doesn't like him. Maybe she'll move on. But when she was like, "Oh, I do like you," I was like, okay. Like I saw it like kind of
Yeah.
form slowly and
Because
it
it was
was
like a
cute to me.
friendship. Like they seemed like they genuinely got along and it was
Yep.
like real. And
Yeah.
because it was the other people, the guys trying to be like, because remember way back when the guys were trying to convince him to pick Hannah instead of
Yeah.
Serena because
Yeah.
Serena's just talking to you right now conveniently. And I'm like, she was talking to
Yeah.
him days before the recoupling, saying that she wanted to
Yeah.
give him a second chance. So like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, no, I remember Hakeem because I remember Cordell told Hakeem like, "Oh no, she like told me she likes me." And he's like, "I think it's just convenience." Like I think all and I think that's also why Kendall did his big one because I think the guys really were talking shit about Serena a lot to
Yeah.
him. And that shows really a person who doesn't let people get in their head. He's like, "No, I don't
Right.
think she did me dirty. Like I think this was fine, you know?" So
Hmm.
I love that they made it all the way through.
Same. And their date was, I think, my favorite. I would love
Yeah.
that. The drive-in movie, and it's the film of their love. And
No, it was so
he
stinking
does his
cute.
little before, like his little movie narrator voice.
I thought
And I
that
was just
was
like, okay,
hilarious.
Cordell. And she's like dying.
Yo,
And then
yeah.
it was just literally like the story of everything, how they showed up in the matching green. And in the beginning, when
Mm-hmm.
she's like, hey, Cordell.
Yeah.
And then they like ended up coupled up together, the long-term goals, Cheez-Its thing,
Yeah.
like just all this stuff and like the ups and downs. It showed Casa, it showed them making up
Yeah.
after Casa, it showed the doc scene. And it's
Yeah.
funny because now in interviews, Serena's like, Serena really doesn't want to watch this season. She's
I
like, I
wouldn't.
saw everything in the film. Like, and she's like,
Yeah.
no more reality TV for me too. Like, I don't want to do anything else. And I'm like, low
Yeah.
key, I could see that because Serena's like real. So she's probably
She
like, I don't know
is.
if I can do more. But I'm like, Serena, you may not have to do more shows, but don't go anywhere. We want to see you.
Yeah, you could maybe commentate, do something, but no, you don't have to be on TV again. But
Get a
it
YouTube
was
channel.
exhausting for her. Can you imagine? I'm sure she was close to leaving the villa. Like, I think
Yeah.
it really did a number on her, just the whole thing. It's like a fever dream, I'm sure,
Oh
you
yeah.
know? But yeah, no, their movie was so stinking cute. And I was surprised that they put Casa in it, but they could not put Casa in it. And then it's so funny because I'm watching them watch it and I'm like, it's whatever. But I'm forgetting, like, they really haven't seen anything. So, like,
Yeah,
for them to see the whole story was so cute.
it was.
The mom's letter at the end was the icing on the cake, and then Odell talking to them at the end. Like, it was so cute.
Mhm.
I have a feeling it was longer than what they showed. I hope it was longer than what they showed us.
I hope. I want to see the
Yeah.
uncut. I want to see it
Me
all.
too.
Give me the
Can y'all
compilation.
you guys could put the movie on Peacock, like just upload it as an episode. We'll watch it.
Right, message the Peacock screeners for next season, the
Right.
unedited version of Serena and Cordell, and bravo if you're listening because you did comment on our last TikTok with Ariana. We would love screeners of episodes we could potentially talk about. Just saying when
That
new
would be
seasons start, love that,
amazing.
love you, bye. Um,
Yes.
But after the film, Serena's crying and it was just so
Yeah.
sweet. And she says to
Mm-hmm.
him, I'm not the easiest to deal with, but you were always so
Mm-hmm.
consistent. And I never had a question how you were
Mm-hmm.
feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he says this is the first time she's saying all this because usually she says same.
I was like, no, it's not.
I mean, I don't
No.
know.
No. I remember
You're like, no, Brandon, I know this.
I feel like in the last few days they've had more intimate conversations. But I remember before he left for Casa, she was like, I really like you. I know I'm slow, but I really like you. Like, I like our connection. Like, I remember her saying stuff, but maybe it was this the first time she said that much. But I feel like she said
Maybe.
it.
Maybe when it was the first time she's done more in regards to emotions. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that makes sense. I don't know.
But
I was
they
about to say
then you're
she
like,
said a
this
lot
is
to
a
you.
lie. She
Yeah.
said so much. She did say a lot. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
we love the doxing.
Hmm.
But then they have fire dancers, and that's like really fun. They like dance with them, and Cordell's like, "This is the best date ever."
No, for real.
And I'm like,
I
period.
If I saw people with fire running towards me in a quiet place, I'd be scared. So I was surprised. He was like, "Wow, look!" And I'm like, "That's not how I would have reacted." I would have been like, "Oh my gosh,
I've
fuck!
been like, "Fuck, we're in Gilligan's
Um,
Island. These are the headhunters."
what's going
No.
on?" Just for a second until I realized what was really happening, and
Right.
then he like they dance. I didn't know there was music. I don't know. They just dance while the fire
Yeah.
throws are going. And he picks her up. It's kind of like a dirty dancing moment. He like lifts
Oh
her.
yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are so cute. I know. I was like, this is amazing. Cordell is strong. But then I saw Serena later and I was like, she's really skinny.
She
I bet she
is.
weighs
But
less than
he is
100
strong.
pounds.
People
He is
mentioned
strong.
because remember the first day Coy picked her up when they like made out and like that
Oh,
break the ice
yeah.
challenge. And they were like,
Yeah.
ever since then, Cordell made sure to
He's
know that she will be picked up and she'll never have to walk anywhere. I'm like, that's
never
funny.
have to walk again. No, that moment was so cute. I was gonna say something else, but I forget. But no, the date was super cute. At first I was like, are y'all staying in the villa? When I saw them get in the car, but he like drove them somewhere. It was cute.
Oh yeah, that that was funny. They randomly like get just a car just to drive.
Yeah.
And they're like, all
Like,
right.
here's the car. And he got in it like he knew where he was going.
I know, right? They're like, yeah, I know where to go. It's like, do you?
Yeah. And they both looked great too. The red
They
fit
did.
on Cordell was so
I
cute.
loved his red outfit and her long black dress. I was like, yes, y'all
Hmm.
better show out.
No, it was cute. They're just so cute. Like they're so goofy and silly, but also like they talk about their feelings and stuff. It's cute.
Yes. And they were even cuter at the end when they had the matching pink outfits. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is so cute. I loved his suit. He was my favorite look. And then she had the pink
Yeah.
dress and her hair up. She looked so good.
Real men wear pink. That's
Period.
a man. He's a
They matched in the
man.
beginning and they're matching in the end. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And in his speech, he says he could tell there was something different about her from the beginning, and
Mm-hmm.
that even though they didn't hit it off at first, that that was the best part of their story, and
Mm-hmm.
that Casa was their biggest hurdle, but they got through it, and he now feels like a
Mm-hmm.
new man. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
Cordell.
No, it was so sweet. She started crying and I was like, this is so cute.
Hmm. And then in her, she's like, hey, Cordell.
Hey,
And
Cordell.
she says, she's happy she never gave up and she always felt drawn back to him. And like basically, she's
Mm-hmm.
just happy to experience the outside with him.
No, it was so cute. It was
Yeah.
super cute. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. He like dipped her while they were dancing around the fire throwers and stuff. And I was like, okay, smooth with it. Everything they
Okay.
do is so natural. This speech, the dancing, all of it is just really natural and it's so cute. And like I'm really, really happy for them. If they don't get married,
We'll
I might
riot.
question reality.
I will question humanity and love.
Humanity and
I
love,
can't.
yes.
They were so cute. And then, like, she has said in interviews too, because they've asked, I think Chicks was the first to ask. They were like, do you think you pushed away in the beginning because, like, you knew you really liked him and it freaked you out? And she was like, yes,
Oh.
because literally we would talk and we were literally the same person. And it scared me. Because
Oh,
apparently they had the same taste in
wow.
music. They grew up 5 minutes from each other. Like there was all these
What?
things. Yes, there was all these
Oh,
like crazy things. And it
wow.
was just like people were saying, to quote a Taylor Swift song, there was always a invisible string that was tying them together, tying you to
Yeah.
me. Period.
That's amazing. No, I
But
didn't know all that. I like, man, I'm gonna have to listen to some of these interviews.
they're good. You got to listen to them. The Chicks in the Office, I think,
Uh,
is the best one, but there's a couple more that I've dropped since that are good.
mhm.
But yeah, they get announced the winners, and they seem surprised because Serena
They
also
were
has
shocked.
said that she thought people would hate her, and I'm like, no, Serena, we love you.
I mean, I understand why Serena says that because she did
Hmm.
show out when
Yeah,
she was mad, but it's like we all felt you were justified. You never like anger is okay,
yeah,
like we were on your side. Brandon Cordell didn't realize there was a winner.
that was funny. When
He was like, "Oh
Ariana
yeah,
shows up,
I forgot somebody won
she's
something."
like, "Let me announce the winners real quick." And he's like, "Oh, I forgot someone's supposed to win this shit." I'm
Honestly,
like,
me too though. They don't make it seem like this is a competition. Like, why did they give them money at all? They don't
no,
need
that
to.
was like wild because I'm like, it's so random. And I think Watch What Crappens was mentioning this, that it's kind of like the worst part because it's like they don't lead with like the premise of, are you here for love or are you here for money?
Yeah,
So
and then
when
they
it's like
just
the end where
bounce it
it's
on at
like,
the end.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you get an envelope. Is it $0 or 100,000? And then the person who gets it has to decide, will you keep it or will you split it? And it's like they always choose to split it because it's like the you
Yeah.
would
No, I
look
don't think
terrible if you didn't.
right. I don't think anybody has ever not kept the money. And I saw someone say in the UK they don't ask anymore. They're like, here's the money. Congrats. Bye. They
Right?
don't even because when Ariana said there's more business to attend to, I was like, what?
She's like, we have more things to discuss with my crown of
Yeah.
hair. What did you think of Ariana's look? You didn't
I
like the
didn't like the
hair.
crown, but I
It,
liked her outfit. I was like, what's happening? It doesn't look symmetrical. It's kind of just doing its own thing. I didn't enjoy that.
it was a choice. It was bold, I think, for the finale. They were like, let's go big. And I'm like, okay.
That's
Th-
not going big. You could have curled
Ooh,
that shit. She could have had something else. Like, no.
maybe a high pony would have been great, I think. But
It just looked like they just braided her, put her hair in braids and just laid it on her head. I didn't see a pattern or
well, it
anything.
was like a wig, I think, because she's had like a hair guy this whole time. And he was
Oh,
like getting it together, I guess, for a while. I don't know.
I
But
didn't
the
like
outfit
it.
was great. Loved
Great.
it.
Her
Abs
body
on
is
point.
tea.
It is tea. So you know what? Overall, slay. Um,
Slay, yes.
but yeah, and then after that, they split it. I love too Serena and Cordell. They do like their handshake after they win, and it's so cute.
Yeah,
I'm like, I love
I
this.
haven't seen the whole thing. Who told that? I think Janae was like your handshake, and they're like boom, boom, duh, 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 and then she twerks on him at the end, and I'm like, they're
Yes.
so stinking cute.
They're the best. I love everything about them. I want to hang out with them. I love
Me
them.
too.
Serena and Cordell,
This
come on the
is
pod.
please. It's so funny because I watch a lot of love shows. We watch Love is Blind. I watch Married at First Sight. 90 Day Fiance doesn't count. It's not like this where it's like, become a relationship. But this is the first time I've seen a show end with people in relationships that I actually think will last. Like, I think all four of these will last. Maybe the distance might get to Leah and Miguel, but other
Yeah.
than that, I think that they could make it work. But if they don't and the distance is too hard, I get it. It doesn't mean they didn't like each other. Like, this is the first time I've seen a show come out with four solid couples,
It feels like
a
there's a
dating show.
genuine, if there's not love, like deep like. And it's like, even if it's
Yes.
not like, it's like, I love you as a person. I'm like, I love this. I want to see these people all the time.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I guess Love Island works or whatever.
it might just. And that's when
Hmm.
Ariana was just like, you know what? I've loved watching you guys. She got emotional with Serena and Cordell as
Yeah, she
well.
started crying. Well,
I
Serena started crying immediately.
She did. It was just
Yeah.
sweet. And then
It's,
Ariana was just like, you know what? I'll see y'all very soon though, because we're gonna have the reunion, gonna air August
mhm.
19th on Peacock. And then also, they celebrate, it ends, and then it goes, the end, question mark. And I'm like, what else is gonna
Hmm.
happen? Because
Are
I
y'all gonna
feel
do
like
something
it's
else?
not the reunion because like they announced the reunion. So we know like it's the end of the season, but there's gonna be a reunion. So I'm like, well, what else is gonna happen?
I think they're just maybe hinting at the reunion again, but I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
We'll have to
We'll
see.
see. They gotta film a Love Island game soon now that like everyone's paying attention to Love Island.
Yeah, I know Serena's not going, but maybe the other couples will.
Right.
But the whole love or money thing, Ariana's like, choose love or money, blah blah blah. They get envelopes, whatever, whatever. They split the money. But at first I was like, I wonder if Cordell's gonna give it to her.
Oh, like all of it. Well, I
Yeah,
would have been like, your brother's Ojel, you're rich.
yeah.
Either give it to
Give
me
her
or
the
split.
money. Yeah. Give her the I like if he gave her the whole thing, I would have been like, oh my gosh. But when they split it, I was like, it's cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was super cute. This was a nice finale.
It was very long, but like nice and like a movie, and I just loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved
Yeah,
everything
me
about it.
too. Me too. This season was really cool. They all jump in the pool at the end, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, your clothes!" And I'm like, "We
I
don't
know,
care. You
right?
didn't buy those suits.
I know, right? They're like, these are rented. These aren't mine. I'm okay with
We
this.
got to give this back to production. I can't fit this in my little suitcase. Those
Right?
suitcases are so small." I was like, "I know your luggage isn't in those things."
I know, right? I think they just give it to them at the end to pretend to be their suitcase. They probably have their real luggage like somewhere else, stored somewhere.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, you know what? But
But it
this
was
season was great.
cute.
I'm so glad we got into Love Island in this season. And like this season is the one that really like popped off, like for USA.
It's literally perfect timing that when we watched, it was like the greatest of all time.
It means it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. No, this has been so much fun reviewing this with you. I love all these people. I'm following them and their stories. This is
Yes.
really cool. We're gonna probably, I don't know what we're gonna do next, but um it would be cool to just maybe like spend a week looking at social media and stuff and then just like reporting back on what we hear of the happenings this week because a lot is going on for them.
A lot is. I think, yeah, I feel like there's going to be so many podcasts, so many interviews. Like, I feel like next
Yeah.
episode, we need to like go over any new tea or any new
Yeah.
revelations. We can't quite put
Yeah.
these people yet. And then even after that, by August 19th, we'll be revisiting for the reunion. But
Exactly. I think we'll spend the week like maybe on Sunday. We'll spend the week listening to interviews and stuff and then on Sunday we'll make another episode of just what we've heard and what's going on to
yes,
keep y'all posted cuz I'm obsessed. When I like something, I consume it
that part.
quickly.
Yes. And then I don't know, like I said earlier in this episode, people have been saying like, "Oh, we should watch." Someone recommended season 2, which that's the
Mhm.
Justine and Sully one. Someone just said
Mhm.
we need to do 4 and 5 of USA or like UK season 5 and UK season 5.
Mhm.
That was Mara Higgins season from
Mhm.
After Sun. So I'm like, I don't know, we may
I
not be
mean,
saying goodbye to the
we might
villa.
Love Island just yet. We'll see.
This might be a unofficial Love Island podcast. Or,
Yeah.
at least a partial one. We go over it. We'll talk about other stuff too, but
Yeah, no, I mean, regardless, Love Island is our show. When it comes on next year, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna review it. Like this is the thing we do.
yeah, period. Well, we will never be
Period.
saying bye to Love Island. But
Nope.
yeah, but this has been, the last episode, the finale. But again, like we said, there's gonna be the reunion. We're gonna go over the interviews and all that. So it's a goodbye-ish. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all good. But I think that's it for today's episode though, Maggie.
That's it, Brandon.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much for listening.
Thank
Make
you.
sure to rate and review us. Give us 5 stars.
5 stars.
Write a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can, if you want to see our beautiful faces instead of just listening, you can find us on YouTube at the Shade of It All podcast and subscribe to our channel. We have our
Mm-hmm.
full episodes there. And then, yeah, if you want to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Shave It All Podcast, still post some fun clips on TikTok. We'll again eventually post on Instagram. Stop
Yes.
coming at us. No one has said anything. We're coming at
Nobody said
ourselves.
anything.
Nobody cares.
Sorry, Sydney moment. Sydney moment.
Sydney moment. Oh God. So many people are saying this is me and it's not. But yes, we will be back next time to talk about what these people are saying after the villa. And
Yep.
we can't wait. And we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.